Okay, today we're talking Mongol 100 and the equipment I used and what kept me warm on the ice and at the camps late at night. So if you're thinking of going out to try the Mongol 100, which is one of the rat race bucket lists, hopefully this is going to be some use to you. Okay, so let's have a look at the bags we're going to use. So on the ice you're going to be needing to carry a certain amount of equipment. You're also going to be carrying spare jackets and any base layers in case you get particularly cold. Some spare food, you could be out there for a long time. Depends how fast you're going to do it. You could get injured, you could be there for a bit longer than you think, so it's always worth having a bit of extra room in your bag. And don't forget, any equipment you're wearing, jackets, base layers that you might want to take off, you're also going to need room in your bag to be able to put them away. So what I used was the Ultimate Direction 25 litre bag. And what I found really useful with this is when I'm wearing the mitts, the big gloves, I could just grab stuff out of here and the little stuff sack on the back of it. So, woolly hats and buffs, things like that, really useful to get hold of. The front pocket here, which is perfect actually for my 700 millilitre water bottle. Because the pit stops are so regular, I had a double skinned one. I just about got away with keeping it from freezing. You can get some of the electrolyte tablets that actually reduce the freezing rate as well, so that's quite a useful tip. Apart from that, the bag is really comfortable, but like anything, try it before you get out there. Don't just buy it and have a go. Go running on the streets with it, go around the lanes, wear it for a few miles and make sure it's going to be good for you. And remember, you're going to put this on over the top of your jackets, so make sure you get a decent size. Now, the bag you're getting at the airport, so you've got to get all your equipment there, so it's got to be big enough. What I used was a 140 litre rucksack, a big old thing. They sell them in Cotswolds, Runners Needs, all these different places. So they're quite easy to get your hands on. If you're going to buy deal or boots, make sure you've got some extra room in there because you might need to get them around. Definitely go bigger. Bigger's better. Okay, so headwear. Headwear is really important when you're out there. You lose a lot of heat through your head. So the last thing you want to do is be stuck on the ice, freezing cold, the wind picks up, and you've got nothing to really go for. So the first thing that I used, the main thing I used, was my Ninja mask, which is from Rab. This is a brilliant bit of kit. You can demo it for you. So straight away you can see this here protects all your mouth and breathing. To regulate, it's really easy to pull this down, and it's quite breathable. It has got some padding on it. Very good bit of kit. I pretty much lived in that when I was out there while I was on the ice. So I would recommend you get a decent balaclava one that you're quite happy with. Woolly hats, 2 or 3 decent woolly hats. Go-to item as soon as you finish running. Whack a hat on, keep you warm. And also a buff, nice big warm buff. If that wind bites, especially if you're having a bit of a slow moment, you whack this around your neck. That makes a hell of a difference. So that's another good bit. My other bit, and one of the bits that I use quite a lot out there, is a skull cap. So I run with a skull cap on quite a lot in the UK. So I took a couple out with me. This one's quite creased. This is by Armadillo Merino. Now, the thing I like about this, and I've got an Innovate one as well, which is brilliant, but this is actually really soft. So it's quite kind in the harsh conditions, and this was the go-to one that I went for. Mixing this with the Rab hat, oh man, I was cooking. I was loving it. There's no problem whatsoever. So a decent skull cap and a balaclava. Other thing is, there are many different types out there. It's worth taking a couple of different ones. So if you're taking a balaclava, take 2 or 3. If you're taking a skull cap, take 2 or 3. They get hot, they get sweaty. Maybe you get a thicker balaclava for a really cold day. Okay guys, so now we're talking about what we're going to wear on top. It's super important, you've got to make sure you can regulate the heat quite a lot. So I want to start off with my X-Bionic top. Now these things are ace. This is the accumulator one. This, I didn't notice it when I was out there. Perfectly warm. It's really stretchy. It's really, a lot of giving when you're trying to run. Recommend that highly for movement when you're running around. The other one I went for, which I use mainly in camp, but I would be more than happy to run in it, was my Armadillo Merino base layer. This is the Hawk. They've got a zip on the top that comes down. They've also got thumb loops. So, really good, really nice and warm and soft again. Great for camp because it's, it's really comfortable to put on. So that's a top tip. But mainly for running, I was in the X-Bionic, and then I had my Ram fleece, which is just, you can get any standard fleece, micro fleece. This one I quite like, just fitted well, you can get many different types. And then the jacket, so the jacket was a little bit more thinking going into the jacket. So I'm for a vaporized Ram jacket here. It's got the two massive pockets on the front, which I basically stashed all my gear in as I was running. So that was really, really good. Like I say, it's an active jacket, so it's really, really kind of versatile. It's really, the fabric doesn't kind of hold you back. So again, this was perfect. If we look inside as well, there's also a little bit of a fleece liner in here, so that just helps keep the wind, the cold, everything at bay. The hood if you need it, not that I needed it, but that is what I ran in every day, and that was spot on. Really good because you've got a full leather zip as well, so you can stay cool. And then finally what I had in my backpack, I didn't run in it, but it was my go-to, and as soon as I finished it went on, it was brilliant. It was just a puffer jacket, just a down jacket. So this is a mountain equipment one. Cost me about 150 quid from Cotswolds, and yeah, worth its weight in gold. Lovely bit of kit. So if you've got a down jacket, don't feel like you need to go and buy another one, because the one you're putting in your pack really is kind of in case of emergencies. I had a much bigger one for camp, which I'll show you in a bit. Okay, so moving on to legs. So legs are really important, a lot of friction, a lot of movement. Again, something that you kind of want to try before you get out there. Don't just put new kit on and expect not to chafe. Another point is make sure you have an anti-chafing stick, because that makes life a lot more comfortable and made a lot of difference when I realised they existed. The X-Bionic again, absolutely brilliant. So I have the accumulator trousers, or long pants, I should say, just super warm, super flexible. You don't go too far wrong with these. These are a good bit of kit. I think they retail about £70 or £80 if I remember right, and definitely worth buying. Other than this, I carried my running tights. So I've just got some Solomon running tights and another pair of thermals, which I took as extras. But when I was running, I lived in these. I wore them every day. Absolutely amazing. The other bit of kit, and something I couldn't find any good advice on this, so I took this as a little bit of a whim, but I've got some Innovate race pants, which is a link on the written blog. Now these are super thin. I don't know if you can see this, so there's hardly anything to them. But that just keeps the wind out. It doesn't really give you the warmth. I suppose it traps some warmth from the movement you're creating, but these two together were spot on. Even when the wind picked up and it was really nasty, I wouldn't have wanted any more than that on. So maybe different if you walk in it. I was running. That's worth thinking about. Okay, so I just want to run through some socks, because it's important to get that right. So I run in the Hilly Twinskins, which I run in quite a lot, and they're really comfortable, and they seem to keep the shape quite well after you've used them for a while. Now compare these with a good set of trekking socks, good thick trekking socks, which you can get from anywhere. You get them from Mount Warehouse, you can get them from Cotswolds. These are These are merino socks. So mixing the two together, my feet never got cold when I was out there, and I haven't particularly got a very well insulated shoe. So that's a good combination. Try them. Make sure you try all the different combinations and get one that works for you. My gloves. So these are just a cheap liner glove which I got from Mountain Warehouse that were brilliant. I popped a hand warmer in there and I was good to go. Over the top of that, while I was running, I'd wear a mitt. So this is a nice warm mountain equipment Gore-Tex one. Really just keeps all the wind out and everything else. They were like ovens in there. Hands were so warm. I suffer with rain eyes, so getting this right was a massive plus, and that really worked. Around camp, because I want these to dry out, I took a different glove. Obviously a little bit more versatile because you've got the fingers. So I lived in those in the camp. So that was great. Okay, so one of the questions I always got asked was, how are you going to run on the ice? How are you going to find that? What's the traction going to be like? Now, take a bit of a chance, just did a little bit of research, and I got it right. But I got it right because I took more than one pair of crampons. So the Katuna crampons seem to really do the job well, and I did buy these KTS ones. I never use them. They look like a great crampon, and I'm sure there's a time and a place for them, but I didn't need them. Instead, I went for the micro spikes, which are these ones here. You can see you've got like multiple grips on the bottom. They're a lot smaller, and they've just got the just got the straps that go across the top. So the one thing I would say is if you are going to take these, don't leave them by the fire because they'll break. And secondly, they're not that expensive, about £40. It's worth taking 2 pairs because if they do break out there, then you're a bit stuck. I saw quite a few latched together with a few shoelaces, so good advice would be to take 2. And as you can see here, I also ran in a standard road shoe. I'll show you this one. This is just my New Balance trainer. I've never run in New Balance before, and they are super comfortable. It's like so wide along the front here, really wide toe box, and that really helped when I was out there, especially with the 3 socks on. That was absolutely brilliant. The cushioning in the sole, obviously you've got the spikes on the bottom. Go for something with extra cushioning because you'll feel them otherwise. And I probably started to feel them a little bit by day 4, but apart from that, they were absolutely amazing. My feet weren't cold, they're not Gore-Tex. It didn't matter. Maybe different conditions it would, but for me it didn't matter. They absolutely flew. These were a gem. I was so happy to get these right, and I wouldn't have gone for New Balance before, but yeah, well done New Balance. So there's a link to these on my site. They're not that expensive. This is a sportive shoe. They do a neutral one as well. Okay, so I just want to say a couple of things about camp and what you might find useful when you're there. When the sun goes down, the temperatures drop, and we had conditions about -26. I know it can get a lot worse than that as well, so it's worth thinking about. And the sleeping bag I used was a bouncing bomb, which is like a 2-part sleeping bag, which was really useful, super warm. Yeah, I'd recommend that. That was a great sleeping bag. You can find them on eBay, or maybe a nice friend will lend them to you. The Corinthia trousers and jacket I used, they are massive. They are so warm. These really are a good bit of kit. I was lucky enough to have somebody lend them to me. I don't know how expensive they are, but and maybe you've got something else. The normal down jacket, probably layered up, probably would have done a job. But if it gets really bad and you've got these in your locker, then you're laughing. And staying warm in camp just means you're more ready for the next day. And don't forget to do your stretches when you get back. Okay, guys. Well, hopefully that's been of some use to you, and hopefully I've talked you now into signing up for, if you haven't already, to the next Mongol 100. And maybe it'll be you guys telling the next batch how to do it next time. So.